Welcome to How to Launch a Successful Facebook Campaign in 30 minutes or less. My name is CJ Easter. I'm the Director of Leadership Marketing and the owner of FitTrack Coaching. In this module, I'm going to walk you step by step how to build a successful Facebook campaign, from the campaign type to the targeting to the ad copy. But before we get started, to make it easier for you, you're going to want to download my 30-minute Facebook ad cheat sheet. So go ahead and pause this video and visit the website you see listed here on your screen and download that cheat sheet. In that cheat sheet, you're going to get links to all the resources you need to get started, as well as fill in the blank ad copy templates to make things easier for you. Now that you've downloaded the cheat sheet, we can get started. Today I'm going to teach you how to build Facebook lead ads on mobile. Why Facebook over Instagram? Well, Facebook has a larger ad inventory than Instagram does. So your cost per impression on Instagram is going to be about 50% higher than your cost per impression on Facebook. And that's also going to be reflected in your cost per lead. And my goal today is to teach you how to get a campaign going that's going to get you the lowest possible cost per lead so you can get the most out of your ad budget when you get this launched. I'm also going to teach you how to use lead ads. A lead ad is a standard opt-in form that's built into Facebook. So your user does not have to leave Facebook to opt into your ad. It's already built into Facebook. They simply click and the form pops up in the Facebook platform, and it's already pre-populated with their name, email, and phone number that they've provided to Facebook. So the awesome thing about that is it reduces the variables in your funnel, so you don't have to test a landing page and you don't have to build one. And it also makes it super easy for the user in terms of the user experience. And the other thing is we're going to be running these ads on mobile because 96% of people access Facebook from their mobile phones. So we're going to go where the most people are. So now that we know what we're building, let's get started with building it. So the first thing you're going to do is log into your ads manager, and you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. Then you're going to click the create button, and then it's going to ask you if you want to use quick creation or guided creation. So go ahead and select quick creation. And then you're going to go ahead and create a new campaign. So with your campaigns, I suggest you name it something creative. Like right now, for our clients, we're running something called the Holiday Body Makeover. So I suggest you give your campaign a unique name so you can separate yourself from the other gyms out there, the corporate gyms that are running a free week or $1 this or this free. If you give it a name, that's a good way to stand out and be creative with that. It's also a good way to take your same offer and refresh it by just changing the name on it. So I suggest being creative with the names and switching them up seasonally. Then the next thing you're going to scroll down to, you can skip the special ad category. You don't have to worry about that because we're not creating an ad related to credit, employment, and housing. We're going to keep this on the buying type as auction. And then we're going to have our campaign objective. And so we're going to scroll down. We're going to select lead generation. And we're going to turn off this campaign budget optimization. We're going to optimize the budget at the ad set level. Next, I'm going to scroll down and name my ad set and my ad. So what I typically do is tie the ad set and ad name to the campaign name. So when I have a bunch of ads going or different ad sets going, it's easy to look things up. So I'm going to do HBM, which stands for Holiday Body Makeover. And then my target audience, which in the ad set level, that's where you select your targeting. I'm going to put women 40 to 49, as that's the target client for my gym. And then here, it's going to ask you to select your page. This is my gym. And then if you haven't already accepted the terms and conditions for the lead ads, you're going to have to do that there. Then next, I'm going to name my ad. So I'm going to go HBM, women 40 to 49. And then some sort of way that you'll identify your ad. So typically I identify my ads by the image that's in them. So this might be the two women image. And then I'm going to go ahead and save to draft. After you click save to draft, it's going to take me to this screen, and this is the campaign editing screen. There's nothing you're going to need to edit here. As you see, it's already set to auction, lead generation, and the campaign budget optimization is off because we're going to optimize at the ad set level. So our next step is to go ahead and click on ad set, and it's going to load your ad set editing page, and this is where we're going to establish our targeting. So it's already named, it's already set up to our page. We're going to keep dynamic creative off for now because we're going to control the creative and the testing at the ad level. And the catalog, we're not going to select anything for catalog. This is more for e-commerce business that have a catalog of products that they're selling. And then now we're going to scroll down to your budget. So for budgeting, with the type of ads we're going to create, we're typically going to see leads at about $10 per lead, and they're going to close at around 10 to 15% to FEOs. So we can work backwards from there and decide what our budget's going to be. I like to work my budget from a monthly level, so I can plan for an entire campaign, not just at a daily level. So I'm going to click here and select lifetime budget. And so using that math, if I set a budget of $500, I can expect around 50 leads and expect somewhere between 5 to 7 FEOs. And if I set a budget of $1,000, I could expect around 100 leads and somewhere between 10 to 12 new FEOs. And the assumptions I'm making are that your sales and follow-up process are in place to take advantage of these leads that you're getting. So given you have a good sales and follow-up sequence, you could expect to close about 10 to 12%. And these results aren't linear, meaning you can't scale up to $10,000 and expect the results to remain the same because you have a limited audience size. So, but in general, from in that anywhere up to $1,000 per month range, you're going to see around a $10 per lead, and you can use that to decide your ad budget. And then, as I said previously, I'm typically going to run my ads for around a month, anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm going to select that start date, which is today, and then I'm going to select an end date anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks from now. If you have a larger market with a larger audience, you're going to be able to run that ad for longer before you hit point of diminishing returns. If you have a smaller market and a smaller audience, you're going to have to probably switch up your ads a little more frequently because you're going to be hitting the same people over and over, and they're just going to get ad fatigue. And next, I'm going to scroll down to audience, and this is where I'm going to select my targeting. So we're going to go ahead and create a new audience, and then we're going to decide if we want everyone in this location, which would include people who live and work within the radius we select around your gym, or we're going to select people who live in this location. For my gyms, generally our clients are people who live near the gym, so I'm going to go ahead and select people who live in this location. And then I'm going to not want to target everyone in the United States, so I'm going to narrow this down. I'm going to put my gym address in here. And then I'm going to want to target with, depending on your area, you're going to want to target a 3 to 5 mile radius. I'm going to select 3 because we're in a pretty dense area, so there's quite a bit of traffic, and people aren't going to travel 5 miles. It's generally going to be 3 miles that they're going to travel to get to their gym at the max. So I selected that. And then Facebook's giving me this warning that the ad set may get 0 leads. They are wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and ignore that. I won't give them any feedback. Just ignore it because I promise you the ad's going to get leads. And then I'm going to scroll down and select my demographic. So As I mentioned previously, our target client is women 40 to 49. So I'm going to select 40. And then I'm going to select women. And then in terms of language, I'm also going to select English here. So for your targeting, I suggest you select a single gender and a single decade. So that way you can speak specifically to the needs of that client and you're not trying to capture the benefits and needs of a person that's 35-year-old in the same ad as somebody who's 60 years old. They're going to be in different phases of their fitness journey, have completely different needs, and you're not going to be able to write an ad that captures the needs of both. And then what I suggest for the long term is to use an interval technique. So you would select your primary demographic. For us, it's women 40 to 49. And then our secondary demographic is women 35 to 39. So for this first ad run, I would run my ads to women 40 to 49 and let that run for 4 to 6 weeks. And that would be my main sprint interval, and then I'd have a shorter interval where I'm letting that women 40 to 49 audience rest so they don't get ad fatigue from seeing my ad over and over again. And I'm going to run maybe for a 2 to 3 week period, run an ad to women 30 to 39. And then next up, Facebook is going to give you options to do more detailed targeting, interest-based targeting, and other behavior-based targeting. For local ads, you don't really need to worry about this. Your target market is going to be defined by their age, their gender, and their location relative to your gym. So you don't have to worry about too much like this. You can, if you like in detailed targeting, if you want to run an ad specific for moms, you could enter things in here to run an ad specific for moms. But in general, you don't have to worry about detailed targeting because your audience is already defined by your local area. And then add connection type. You don't need to worry about that. Next thing you're going to do is save this audience. So I'm going to call it Redwood City Women 40 to 49. And I am going to go ahead and not save this audience. Typically I'd save it, but for this example, I'm not going to save it because I probably already have an audience like this and don't want to overwrite it. And next up, we're going to scroll down and select our ad placements. And like we said previously, we're going to select a mobile-only placement because we're going to go where the eyeballs are, which is Facebook mobile. So we're going to edit placements, and then we're going to go to deselect desktop, so it's mobile only. And then we're going to go ahead and deselect Instagram, so it's just the Facebook feed. And then I'm going to scroll down, and I don't want to be in stories, so I'm going to unselect that. And then I'm going to scroll down and unselect the in-stream, unselect the in-article, and then I'm going to go allow it to target all mobile devices, and then we should be good from there. So I selected mobile, Facebook, and then just the news feed. So now that we got the targeting, budget, and placement in place, we're going to start working on the ad, specifically the ad creative and the ad copy and the lead form. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to take me to the ad editing page. You could ignore these warnings here. It's just Facebook warning me about things that don't really matter. And so as you see, the ad name's already filled out based on what we did in the beginning of this video. And I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to, we're not advertising on Instagram, so I could skip over that. And then I'm going to scroll to ad setup. So we're going to create an ad with a single image. In my testing, I found that a single image outperforms a carousel with multiple images and also outperforms video. My hypothesis as to why images outperform video is that when you have a video ad, there's two options for people to take. They could, number one, click the video and then take a second click to opt in. So it will require two clicks for somebody to opt in versus an image. They only have one option, and that is to click and opt in. So we eliminate 50% of the choices, and if people are interested in that, the only logical next step to take is to opt in. So after we selected the ad format, next thing we're going to do is select our image. So we're going to scroll down here, and we're going to click here and go ahead and change image. And then I've already pre-uploaded the image I want to use here. So what you would do if you're uploading new image, you would go ahead and click upload and then select an image from your computer. But I'm going to go ahead and select the image here. So before we move forward here, a couple things about what makes a good Facebook ad image. So there's a couple things that I want to emphasize in this image. The first one is eye contact, right? So we want to make sure we're capturing eye contact in the ad, because when people are scrolling through the news feed, there's a subconscious thing in our head that if we see eye contact, we're going to stop our scroll. And that's the number one thing the ad has to do, is to stop people from continuing their scroll and moving on to the next thing. We can't do anything, can't get anyone to opt in, we can't get anyone to read the copy unless we get them to stop their scroll. So that's number one, and eye contact goes into that. The next thing we want is we want people that fit within our demographic. So we don't want fitness models if our target demographic is women 40 to 49 with kids, working moms, right? We want people that look like the people we're trying to attract. The other thing is we don't necessarily need workout pictures. We want smiling people. We want happy looking people. We want people to stop their scroll and look at the image and say, hey, those are the type of people I could see myself fitting in with, working out with, having a good time with. So I found that these type of images with 2 to 3 women smiling, flexing, maybe even doing something goofy, work best. So now that we've landed on our image and talked about what makes a good image for a Facebook ad, we're going to move on to the ad copy. So the primary text is going to be the main place where you put your ad copy. And this primary text is going to show up right above the image here. And recently Facebook made a change where previously there was 5 to 7 lines of text that showed above the ad image. Now only 3 lines of text show above the ad image. So it's very important that above the fold you call out your audience and capture their attention, because you just have limited real estate to make use of. And fortunately enough, with this module, and if you downloaded the cheat sheet that I mentioned at the beginning of the module, I've provided you with a template for that copy, so you don't have to worry about figuring out what to put above the fold and what to put in your copy. I've already done that for you. So if you haven't already downloaded that cheat sheet, make sure to go back to the beginning of this video, get that link, and download that cheat sheet, and then come back here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that text here from my cheat sheet. And paste it into the primary text. So the only thing you're going to have to do is fill in the blanks. So anything between the brackets is something you would fill in the blanks with your city, your gender you're targeting, your age range you're targeting, and then the unique benefits of your program, and also your program name. All the copy is done for you. You just have to fill in the blanks here. And as you can see in this ad sample here, right above the fold, we only have 3 lines. So what we're looking to do is call out our audience, and then we're looking to get a benefit for that audience above the fold. So we can get people who say, hey, I'm looking to slim down and tone up. I'm a woman, age 40 to 49. I'm in this city. Hey, this ad is for me. And we get them to stop and click see more and read the rest of the copy. And a quick note when you're filling the blank on this copy, there are some words that you're going to want to avoid on Facebook to make sure your ad gets through the approval process. So when you're listing your benefits, you want to avoid things like weight loss, fat loss, and most importantly, specific weight loss claims, like you're going to lose this specific number of pounds in this many days. Those things are pretty much automatically going to get your ad disapproved, or Facebook is going to just charge you more per impression for your ad to be shown. So in order to get the best out of your budget and get your ad in front of your audience as much as possible, avoid those type of buzzwords. Benefits that you can use that are going to get approved by Facebook are things like slim down, trim down, tone up, have more energy, feel stronger, look better. Any of those things that don't revolve around weight loss and fat loss and don't make specific claims are benefits that are going to get approved by Facebook. So now that we've discussed the copy of the ad, we're going to move on to the headline of the ad. And where the headline is going to show up on the ad is right here below the image. So we're looking to achieve a similar thing that we did above the fold here. It's another opportunity for us to call out our audience and capture their attention. So fortunately enough for you, I've provided you with a template already in that cheat sheet to plug in here in the headline. So I'm just going to go over to my cheat sheet and copy the template and plug that in here. And all you're going to have to do is fill in the blanks here again. And then in these other fields, we're going to leave the description empty because this is not going to show up on the mobile news feed. Display link, also not going to show up on the mobile news feed, so we're going to leave that empty as well. And we're going to change the call to action to learn more. And in my tests, learn more has performed best out of all the calls to action because it's the least amount of commitment that a person has to take to get to the next step, right? And that's what we're looking to do here with the ad. We're not looking to get them all the way in and ready to sign up. We're just looking to get them to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested in learning more about the program. So we want to take them off Facebook so that we could get their name, email, phone number, and have a conversation with them and discuss if the program's a good fit. And now that we've got the ad image, the ad copy, the headline, and the call to action, we're going to move on to the lead form. So I'm going to scroll down and go ahead and click Create Lead Form here. And the first thing we're going to do is name our lead form. So we want to name it something recognizable. So I'm going to call it the HMB, the Holiday, or HBM, sorry, Holiday Body Makeover, Women 40 to 49. So I want to be able to tie this back to the ad set. So I name it something with the campaign name as well as the targeting. And then I'm going to click on Settings, and I'm going to want it to be English. And the next thing I'm going to click is Open. The reason I want my form to be open is so that if my current clients see this ad, they can share it with their friends. If it's restricted, only people that the ad is shown to can opt in and it can't be shared. So I'm going to change that to open. I'm going to go back to the content, and the form type I'm going to select is more volume because that's the end goal. We want to get as many name, email, and phone number as we can get, so we want volume here. And then I'm going to move on to intro, and with intro I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. So the reason I'm turning it off is I want as few steps as possible between the person clicking the ad and the person submitting their name, email, and phone number. So the intro adds another screen between that. If you want to insert more details about the program and qualify people further before they opt in, this would be a place where you could do that. But typically what I see works best is to get the highest volume of lead as possible. So we want as little friction as possible in that process. So I'm going to close this up and move on to the questions. So the first thing we're going to enter with the questions is the headline that's going to show up right here at the top. So we're going to say learn more about the holiday body makeover by providing your info below. So the next thing we're going to edit is the questions that we ask our potential client. So there's three main things we want to capture. It is the name, email, and phone number. And fortunately enough, with the lead forms, these fields are going to automatically be populated with the information that person provided to Facebook. So it's going to be super easy for the user to opt in because they've already provided the information to Facebook. So the first thing we're going to edit is we're actually going to delete the full name. And the reason why we want to delete the full name is we actually want to split it up into first name and last name. So in the future, if we send automated text or emails, we could send the emails to hey first name, and it doesn't come off as hey first name last name, so it could seem natural and individualized. So I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to go to add new question. I'm going to go to user information. I'm going to put first name, and then I'm going to put add new question, user information, and go to last name, and I'm going to put those above email. And then I'm going to click add new question, and I'm going to go phone number. And so those are the main questions I'm going to ask: first name, last name, email, phone number. If you do want to ask additional questions, there's opportunities to put short answer questions, multiple choice questions, and other things in there. But I recommend to get started that you just get the basic information so you can get a feel for it, and then if you feel like you want to ask additional questions to further qualify your leads, you can make those adjustments down the line. And now we're going to move on to the last two steps: the privacy policy and the thank you page. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up. And privacy policy, you're required to provide your privacy policy link here. And fortunately enough for you, on the cheat sheet, I've provided you with a sample of a privacy policy. So you can't use the link that I provided you for your privacy policy, but what you can do is take that privacy policy and use that as a model for yours. And as a side note, I'm no lawyer, so if you have questions about the privacy laws or rules in your state or country, I would go ahead and consult your legal counsel on that. But what I'm going to do now is go ahead and head over to the privacy policy and copy that link and put that here. And so now I'm done with the privacy policy. And now moving forward, I'm going to move on to the thank you screen. So I'm going to close this up. On the thank you screen, I'm looking to achieve two things. Number one, let them know what to expect next. And if they're a hot lead and they're ready to go, give them the opportunity to go ahead and take the next step immediately. So in our process, the next step is we're going to send them a text once they submit their name, email, and phone number. So I'm going to go ahead and tell them, thanks, we'll shoot you a text shortly. And then I'm going to give them the opportunity to take the next step. So I'm going to put something in the description box that's similar to what you see here. So it's going to say something like space is limited in the special program. So if you want the best opportunity to reserve a spot, give us a call now using the button below. So I'm going to change this to call business. And then I'm going to change the button text to call now. And I'm going to enter my phone number here. And then now I'm completed with my lead form, so I'm going to scroll up here and select finish. So now my ad is complete, and if I want to take a look at a preview of it, I can look here and scroll down and see a preview of the ad, and as well as the form. And if I want to view it on my mobile phone to make sure it looks good there, I can click here and click send notification to Facebook. And after I take a look at it there and see that it looks good, I'm going to go ahead and click Review and Publish. And then I'm going to click Publish, and we're all set in under 30 minutes. And now your ad's going to go into the Facebook review process, and it's typically going to take anywhere from 12 to 24 hours to get your ad reviewed. So now that your ad's under review, what I'm going to do is teach you how to use Zapier to automatically set up when a lead opts into your lead form to send you an email notification. One of the cons of lead forms is that Facebook doesn't have a native operation that automatically sends you a lead. So if you this ad gets going and you don't have Zapier set up, you're going to start seeing results, and they're going to be stored in here, and you'll be able to click here and download those leads to a spreadsheet, but you'll have to manually come in to do that. So what Zapier allows you to do is it links into the Facebook lead form and allows those leads to automatically be sent to your email inbox. And if you have other things set up like automated texts and automated emails, it could get that process started for you too. So that's the next thing I'm going to teach you. So we're going to dive into Zapier next. So go ahead and pull that up and log in. And if you haven't already purchased a Zapier paid account, you're going to need to do that to take advantage of this next step. So I'm already logged into Zapier, and the first thing I'm going to do is come up here and click Make a Zap. And then I'm going to choose the Trigger app, which is going to be Facebook Lead Ads, which is only going to be available with a paid account. And then I'm going to choose the trigger event. It's going to be new lead because I want this Zap to trigger when I get a new lead to the Facebook Lead Ad. So I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. And then I'm going to select my account. And I'm going to click Continue. And then I am going to select my page. You're likely only going to have one option here. I have a lot because I have a lot of ad accounts that I'm managing. And then you're going to select the form. And I called this HBM, women 40 to 49. So now I'm connected to the form. And now I'm going to click Test and Continue. And that's going to insert some test data into the Zap. And then now it's going to ask me to select the action I want to happen. So the Zap has been triggered by a lead coming through the Facebook lead form. And now here's what I want the Zap to do next. So I'm going to want it to send an email to me. So I'm going to select Gmail. And if it's your first time logging in, it's going to ask you to log into your Gmail account. And also, the Facebook stuff that I showed previously, it's going to ask you to log in there as well. So I've already logged in, so I've covered those steps. So I'm skipping some things here, but just know when you first sync your Zapier account with these other accounts like Facebook and Gmail, it's going to ask you to log in and authorize the accounts. So then I'm going to go ahead and I want it to send an email. And then I'm going to select my account. And then I want it to send the email to me. So I'm going to put that there. I don't need it to copy anyone, but if you want to copy someone on your team, you can put that in there. And from, I'm just going to have it be from my email. The from name, I don't need to put that in there because it's going to just be coming from my email. Reply to, I don't need to put anything in there. And then in the subject line, I'm going to put new holiday body makeover lead. And then in the body of the email, I'm going to have it put the name. And then I'm going to have it put the first name and last name. And then I'm going to have it put the email and the phone number. and then I'm going to click continue. And then if I click test and continue, it's going to go ahead and send me a sample email. And so then I could check my email and make sure that went through correctly. And then I'm just going to click turn Zap on. And it's going to turn on. And once your ads get started and you start getting leads, this is going to be on as well. And you'll automatically start receiving emails that notify you that you're getting a lead. And now your process is complete. So the last thing I'm going to teach you before we go is how to read the stats of your ad and how to tell if your ad is performing well. So I'm back in the Ads Manager. The first thing I'm going to do is click on my performance and clicks. And then the number one performance indicator is going to be your cost per result. Typically with ads of the type that we created, we're going to want to be around or below $10 per lead. If you're in a more dense market with more competition and you've been running ads for a longer period of time and are using a higher budget, you're going to see that creep up over time to the $15 or $20 range. But if you're just getting started, you're going to want to see that being around the $10 range to get started. And your other main key performance indicator that you're going to be looking at is your click-through rate. So I'm going to scroll here all the way to the end, and then you're going to see your click-through rate all. And so what the click-through rate all is going to tell you how well your headline, your image, and those first 3 lines of copy are performing, and how well they're capturing the attention of your audience and how many people are clicking your ad. So typically with a good performing ad, you want to see that at or above 3%. So again, your key performance indicators are your click-through rate, all, and you want that at or above 3%, and your cost per result, you're going to want to see that around $10 or lower if you're just getting started. Over time, that's going to creep up, but if you're just getting started, looking at around $10 as a key performance indicator. So first of all, I want to thank you for watching my Facebook ad module, and you should be well on your way to getting a positive return on investment on that 30 minutes of time you put into setting that ad up. And if you watched this far, I'm assuming that you're probably pretty interested in using Facebook ads to consistently and predictably go to your gym. And if you like me and my team to handle that process for you and do it all for you, go ahead and check out leadenginemarketing.com/business-growth-accelerator. And this will give you all the information on our agency and how we could take care of that for you. And you can check out some of our case studies, find out what makes us different, learn what you can expect with the Business Growth Accelerator program. And as you see, we'll set you up with your targeted ads. We'll set up the back end stuff with the automated follow-up texts and emails. We'll have an ROI tracker for you so you know exactly where you stand with your return on investment. We'll optimize the ads on a weekly basis, and every 4 to 6 weeks we'll rotate that campaign for you. And we'll also set you up with our follow-up formula as well, so you'll know exactly what text and what emails you need to send and how to follow up with your leads to maximize your sales as well. So if you're interested in learning more and chatting with us to see if it's a good fit, go ahead and head to leadenginemarketing.com/business-growth-accelerator, and then you can click the link to schedule a strategy call, and we'll set up a time to just chat and see if the program's a good fit for you. So again, thank you for listening to my module. I appreciate your time, and if you do choose to work with me and my team, I look forward to chatting with you and possibly working with you in the future. Thank you.